What is going on, world? Welcome back once again. My name is ZacNovak and this is ZacNovak Plays Games, or Late Novak, honestly, because I actually forgot that today was Zor. Yesterday was Zor. This morning was Zor. Yeah, this morning. Anyway, Zor's inventory and location, before it's too late. Roll intros, let's get right into it, and I do hope you certainly enjoy. Alrighty, so getting straight into the video. This week is, Zor's last week in Destiny 2 for the Season of the Drifter, before he does arrive for Season of the Opulence and we see what kind of changes he's actually gonna have. This week in itself, fingers crossed it actually is something decent, something good for his final week, and fingers crossed there's something decent in actual Season of the Opulence for Zor to be updated. But let us see what the tentacled bastards got this week.
I bring gifts of the Nine, gifts you sorely need.
Well, those gifts in themselves are pretty interesting, but they're not too great or granular. Let's start things off with the Frost EE5, or the Frosties for the Hunter or Huntress. 23 legendary shards for this exotic that I still very much hold very dear to my heart. This thing in D1 to D2 is honestly still amazing. Main perk on it is rapid cooldown, increased grenade melee and dodge regeneration while sprinting. Dodging also increases your sprint speed. These things in themselves are definitely a very viable exotic to use in almost every situation, whether it be PvE or PvP. These things are just really freaking nice. They're in a good spot and I don't think they really need to be changed very much. Maybe in the future give them, I don't know, some cool new ornaments or something, but anyway, the secondary perks on this are as follows. We got ourselves Fusion Rifle Dexterity, Hand Cannon Dexterity and Outreach, as well as but not limited to, we've also got ourselves Scout Rifle Reserves and Special Ammo Finder. Very nice, very decent. Pick these things up for your Hunter or Huntress if you have not got them. 23 legendary shards. Moving on, next up we've got ourselves the Aeon Safe. 23 legendary shards for really nothing, for an exotic that's going to take up a slot that really isn't that useful. I and myself definitely say this exotic is very under average. This thing in itself, however, has the perk being called Aeon Energies. Summoning a barricade grants the following to nearby Aeon cult allies. Warlocks get grenade energy, Titans get barricade energy, and Hunters get dodge energy. Other allies receive a fraction of the shared energy, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You can actually get these from going through and actually completing the campaign on one of all three characters, because Aeon Safe, Aeon Swift, and Aeon whatever the other one is, all actually come from the actual campaign. However, if you are interested in picking this up before the actual last Zor of Season of the Drifter, then why not pick it up to actually finish off your collection. Secondary perks on it are Fusion Rifle Loader, Hand Cannon Loader, and Impact Induction, as well as but not limited to, we've also got ourselves Sniper Rifle Scavenger and Heavy Machine Gun Scavenger. Heavy Machine Gun, I always say that, it's just Machine Gun Scavenger, it's always stuck in my head with Heavy Machine Gun. Anyway, this thing itself, 23 legendary shards, pick it up if you've not got it. Yeah. Moving on though, next up something that's a lot better. We've got ourselves the Wings of Sacred Dawn, 23 legendary shards for this exotic that just looks really freaking cool. I mean, this thing looks awesome. Also, it looks freaking cool with the actual Midnight Sun ornament on it as well, where it just kind of goes silver. This thing is pretty freaking decent. Main perk on it is called Tomb of Dawn. When Dawnblade is equipped, aiming weapons while you're in midair suspends you there for a short time. Weapon hits also extend this effect's duration. So pretty much you have the ability of being in Dawnblade while not actually being in Dawnblade. Kind of. Not actually throwing swords, but staying in midair. We can kind of get sniped in most crucial certain stances. Anyway, this thing is definitely actually viable in PvE, kind of. In some situations, this thing actually is very beastly, and if you want to be one of those people like myself where you try to snipe out from time to time on your Warlock and you use this in the Crucible, either you're going to get knocked out of the air pretty much 9 out of 10 times, or you're going to get that one shot that makes you feel like a complete and utter god. Anyway, secondary perks in this, we've got ourselves Unflinching Bow Aim, Unflinching Fusion Rifle Aim, and Unflinching Kinetic Aim, as well as not limited to, we've also got ourselves Scout Rifle Reserves and Special Ammo Finder. Very nice, very decent. Pick this thing up if you have not got it. 23 legendary shards. Moving on, next up, finally to the weapon of the week, we got ourselves the Xurs regime, or as this week it is, the Zoros regime, because Zora is selling this beast once again. 29 legendary shards for one of Destiny 1's most broken weapons before, I guess, Thorn. However, this thing in itself is honestly really just decent, even though it has been nerfed into the ground. It is still pretty cool. Main perk on it is Xurs Legacy. The bottom half of each magazine deals bonus damage and has a chance to return health on kills. This thing in itself in Crucible is actually still pretty decent. In PvE, it is definitely viable. This thing all around in itself is just a very nice weapon. Secondary perks on it is also called Spinning Up, as well as Dual Speed Receiver. When aiming down the sight's weapon rate of fire slows while the weapon damage increases, or again leaving it standard, is holding the trigger increases the rate of fire. This thing in itself, very nice, very cool. Looks pretty beastly with different actual ornaments on it, just because, well, some of them kind of make it look a little bit kind of newer, others make it look really beastly, and others just kind of make it look different to what you would really expect. I myself definitely state this weapon looks nice, is pretty decent, and not too, undervalued. 29 legendary shards. Pick this thing up if you have not got it. Next up, moving on, we've got the consumables. The 5 of Swords challenge card. This thing allows you to have more challenging knifefalls by adding challenging modifiers to your already challenging knifefalls to actually make those challenging modifiers that already exist in the knifefall more challenging by adding modifiers on top of those already challenging modifiers, which have different modifiers that can actually be changed to make them more challenging, allowing you to get a better score and better loot. In other words, you can kind of just tailor-made your knifefalls. These things, or this thing, is pretty nice. Pick it up if you have not got it. Moving on though, the Invitation of the 9. Well, I'm on my Titan, so yeah, I've got the Invitation of the 9. If you guys haven't actually, gone through and got all the Invitations of the 9, you're still catching up, go ahead and pick it up at 9 legendary shards. It allows you to actually go ahead and actually see the good old, lore behind the game, get some cool loot, and discover stuff that's actually coming up in Season of the Opulence, which is kind of cool. You get the teasers, you get the teasers, you get like the cutscenes, all that good stuff. It's pretty awesome. And finally, finishing things off, the Isochronal Engram, aka the Fated Engram. 97 legendary shards to get an exotic that you don't actually have unless you have all the exotics from the collection. However, this collection itself is only consistent up to the last DLC and isn't actually, having any selling. And you can actually get some pretty good and decent rolls depending on what it actually is. Armor in itself definitely can give you some seriously cool rolls depending on what set of armor it is. Let's see what I get myself. 97 for my Titan. I get the ACD feedback fence, or ACD/0 feedback fence. These things are nice. I actually really like them. They're pretty beastly, and they actually have some, well, they have the exact same perks as what I've got on another set. I do actually like them looking blue because they just kind of look even cool like that. But yeah, that's not too bad. I surprisingly have to say, well, it's not horrible. Momentum transfer and special is very nice on a set of gauntlets. I kind of like that. Pretty cool, pretty decent. So yeah, that is what I got for my Titan, and this has been Zor's last location for Season of the Drifter. New changes to Zor coming in Season of the Opulence, and a bunch of new stuff also coming in Season of the Opulence. I will actually have a video going up probably either a little bit later today or maybe tomorrow, where I kind of go through and actually look at the trailer and break down all the stuff that I do actually see, because I still haven't actually seen the trailer, simply because I want to actually have that first experience while watching it and get to record it, because I'm freaking excited about it and it kind of looks really freaking cool. And I'll also go into details about where I'm talking about something called the Rose, which actually I talked about quite a while ago before the actual whole idea of Rose was even in the game. So yeah, maybe what I was talking about was actually something. But anyway, this has been Xurs Location. This has been ZacNovak for the last Xurs location of the season of the Drifter. If you guys have enjoyed this video, click that like button down below, do all that good stuff, share this video around because it seriously helps out the channel, helps out you guys, helps out other people to actually see where Xurs loot, well, see where Xurs location is, and to actually see Xurs loot. In itself, it is pretty freaking cool. Once again, this has been ZacNovak for the final Xurs of season of the Drifter. This has been ZacNovak. Leave a like, leave a comment, do all the good stuff, and read Sheeran like Karen if he was Ed Sheeran. But until next time, this is ZacNovak signing off. Peace out.